moderator, of the regulator forum that we had this morning. Tell us a little bit about why that was so important for everybody here at the Hill Country Classic today to hear about.
Right. Well, no. Thank you, Steve. It's a real pleasure and honor to be back. I think this is my. I came all 8 years as an insurance commissioner. I was the elected insurance commissioner from the state of Oklahoma. Glenn Mulready is here now, our current Oklahoma insurance commissioner. And then I've come the last 4 years, and I've been able to moderate and help. I came here as a panelist for 8 years, and now I'm on the other side helping facilitate those conversations. And this is a great venue for those that don't know about it, right here in Austin, Texas, centrally located place to come to be able to interact with regulators in a real intimate setting. So when you moderate that panel, you can kind of go where the commissioners want to talk about, but you learn about their background, you learn about their philosophy, you learn about their offices, and then you can talk about key issues in front of the industry.
You know, it was interesting today. I thought you did an excellent job. What was really evident today was these insurance commissioners from around the country are just real people.
That's right.
I mean, just real people. They're down to earth, honest, open, and you know, when you start thinking about the insurance industry, sometimes people think, oh, you're regulated, oh, by the states and all that. That sometimes it's a little nerve-wracking to certain people, or they don't understand it. They don't understand. They're really partners, really, aren't they, with insurance?
They absolutely are. The whole fabric of the state-based regulation and having unique insurance departments in all states, and you saw that highlighted today. You had, Louisiana, Commissioner Donlin, Commissioner Cheney from Mississippi, Mark Fowler from Alabama, Glenn Mulready from Oklahoma, and you saw the differences in some of their philosophies and how they approach things. But state-based regulation is the key, which allows us to make those decisions closest to the consumers, and it really helps out. So, I mean, and to get to know them on a personal level, their passion for the industry, to do what's right. And again, we're here to protect consumers as a regulator, but we're also here to dialogue with the industry and make sure that they can ask key questions and not feel like they're going to get their hand slapped, or they want to know what direction a regulator is going. It's very important.
You did a great job today too, because you've got to balance out time, and you've also still want to build that relationship, because a lot of folks here know the commissioners. They've been here for a number of years.
Right.
We continue to want to see more and more commissioners here. It'd be a wonderful place to have every insurance company in the life and health space get an opportunity to see the regulators here. But just the openness to answer questions and the way that I think the dialogue went, this is unlike anything you're going to see really in the United States at any time. So if there's an insurance carrier out there, somebody from a compliance department, somebody that's a president, CEO, you really should come to the Hill Country Classic, if for nothing else, an opportunity to see your regulator one-on-one.
Absolutely. It's a great C-level opportunity, I think, from a compliance on up to a chief executive officer, to be able to come and ask questions or catch a commissioner at like an NAIC meeting. They're very structured. There's lots of things going on, and commissioners don't have time to be really pulled aside all the time. But this is a good setting, and it again, to raise money. Billy Hill has done such a great job for the charities over the years, and to be able to come like I did for 8 years as a regulator and know that these monies are going for good causes, cystic fibrosis, the charities that are selected, and the people behind the scenes. If you're a regulator thinking about coming, it's a real seamless, easy in and out. You don't, you can stay as long as you need to, but there's a great event to raise money for the charities.
John was terrific today, and you couldn't have said that any better. This is our first year as a title sponsor,
and we appreciate that very much.
And we want to keep coming back. I must tell you, Billy has been an icon to me, legend in the industry.
Absolutely.
But you don't become a legend or an icon in the industry by not giving back.
That's right. Billy cares. And you can tell we had these once when they were in Florida. They're here in Austin now. And it is a great forum, a great setting. But again, if you're a small carrier or an independent agent, a large agency, sign up and come to this and participate and be able to interact with some of the leaders here. I find it to be an excellent event every year. I'll be coming back as long as I'm invited.
Well, your forum today with the insurance commissioners, telling a 28-year sales and marketing guy in the business, the one thing I thought was, oh, how fun can that be? Listening to insurance regulators. It's not what you think. It absolutely was a joy. It was refreshing. the ability for them to sit at your table, answer all your questions, talk about things that maybe aren't even related to it, but they were giving you their opinion, and then you realized you have a new friend, and you have a regulator that's a real person just like you. And what I thought was really amazing about it was everybody out there that ever thought that they were stuffy, not really caring about what they did, it's just a government job, and they just seemingly take forever to get me a licensure appointed or something, or they're trying to figure out how to get my filings done. There's always something that we want to complain about. You didn't see any of that today. What you saw was really a connection between carrier, home office, consultants, people that are involved in the business of manufacturing, servicing, and selling insurance, and then regulating it, combining to really make the industry better, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, and I think, when I look back at some of the committees that I chaired while I was at the NAIC, I was chair of the C committee, I did some work on the international side, and I was head of the fraud department of the NAIC for the D committee for a couple of years. And when you have people asking you variety of different questions, and you see the insurance commissioner's differences of opinion, whether it be Republican or Democrat, independent, that view, whether they're appointed by their governor and selected to be commissioner like Alabama, interim Mark Fallow, or you're elected, one of the elected like I was, you have a platform and you're passionate about certain issues. But I think overall, you will find commissioners are most concerned with consumer protection, fighting fraud and making sure there's good speed to market, and the innovation of our industry is happening so quickly. So keeping our eye on that, the regulators with those regulatory sandboxes is very key.
John, with all your years coming to the Hill Country Classic and seeing how it's really evolved into where it is today, what would you say to those people who are watching today who are seeing this in some way, shape, or form? Maybe it's through social media, YouTube, whatever, and they're hearing about the Hill Country Classic and what we're doing, giving back to cystic fibrosis and other charities. What would you say to those regulators, fellow regulators, those insurance companies and all that are hearing about this, from somebody that's seen it evolve over these years? What would you tell them to do?
Well, I would say, for one thing, it's tough to get a Sooner to come to Austin. So being an Oklahoma Sooner, there's a reason I come here, because the coordination behind the scenes, the charities are real, they're giving back. And for those that are out there thinking, whether you're an independent agent with a small agency or a large agency or one of our larger ones in the U.S., multinational global broker, there's a good reason and a carrier to come here. One, it's that more intimate setting that you don't get very often, and it's an opportunity to get to know the regulator and then set up those meetings afterwards where you want to go in and talk to them on maybe a case-by-case basis, or get a legal opinion on an issue, or understand what exactly the commissioner is saying. But I think that this is a unique forum. There's only a few around the country that are this good for regulators and companies, agents, and brokers to come to. If you're not already inviting a commissioner to come in and speak for like one of the many good Big I events or around the country, they get a lot of places, but this is a unique setting. So I'm happy to support it, and I'm happy to encourage other regulators that are watching this. Again, Republican, Democrat, Independent, your ideas are welcome. Come down to Texas and Austin and participate in the Hill Country Classic and get a chance to interact. I think it's a very good event.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't say it any better than that. He's been here for a long time, former regulator from the state of Oklahoma, John Doke. And John, we want to thank you for your time. And,
absolutely.
And thanks for making that today a special day for us all.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Thanks,
Steve. John.